we're going to go ahead and get going. I'm glad you guys are here. This is my last Wednesday to be teaching here. Jen's going to be taking over after next week. And what I want to begin our practice with, I know this is an Ashtanga mixed class, so we'll get moving. I promise you'll get to move. But I want to start off with some storytelling, because I always like to give some sort of dharma talk. For me, I have to be inspired to do the other practice. This is not a workout for me. It's not an exercise program for me. I have to have something meaningful to back it up. And come on in. No, come on in, Art.
I thought it was locked.
No, all good.
It was sick.
You're front and center here.
Oh, I'm the video camera today.
Actually, you're not. It's just me.
No, I mean, that's
I'm
where
just
the video
making
camera
sure.
usually sits.
All right.
Sorry.
So I want to share one of the myths behind one of the poses. So I often say that corpse pose, or what we do for Shavasana, began as a meditation upon death, which is one reason why it's called the corpse pose. And the reason for that is you want to become as still as a corpse, and you're wanting to take that journey within to realize the fact that you're so much more, that there's something infinite that lives on beyond this physical matter and body and the intelligence of the mind. So hopefully you're figuring that out for yourself. If not, keep that inner journey going when you go into Shavasana. But there's also a story behind the pose, and I want to share that with you. So there's a few characters in this story, and one of them is Shiva. Now Shiva is like the god of transformation and death and time, and he's kind of a wild one. He has he kind of looks like a Rastafarian, he's got long dreadlocks, and he likes to sit in long periods of meditation. And there's even a mountain in India they call Shiva's mountain, where Shiva was said to sit and meditate for these long periods. Well, he was celibate and he loved his meditation, therefore he was a little bit of a recluse. It wasn't really obvious that he would become a husband and a father. And there was this demon who was disturbing the gods and harassing the gods, and the gods wanted to really get rid of this demon, and they were having a hard time with it. Well, they discovered that, according to the prophecy, that the only way that this demon could be, kind of taken out would be if Shiva became a father and the child of Shiva would take care of this demon. So they decided, okay, well, Shiva's never going to have this experience if he's always sitting in meditation. We have to do something to encourage this. So they summoned up the god Kama. You know about Kama because you went to Greece with me. And you too. So Kama is it's kind of like the Cupid, right? He is similar to the Greek god of Eros. And so he's the god of love and eroticism and passion and all of that good stuff. And so they summoned him up and they were like, hey, we need your help. We need you to go down. And you need to strike Shiva's heart so that he falls in love. And they had already determined Parvati, who was a goddess, the earth goddess, that she would be the perfect mate for him because she was already madly in love with Shiva. And she would go into the mountain and she would make sure that she would pass by Shiva, even though she wouldn't disturb him while he's sitting in meditation, because she was in love, right? And so one day when she was passing through the mountain, Kama came down. He was like, this is the perfect time. When Parvati passes by Shiva, that's when I'll strike his heart with the arrow. And so that's what happened. He's sitting in meditation, boom, he got struck in the heart. He opened his eyes, and the first thing he sees is Parvati. He sees her beauty. They catch eyes, all this eroticism, all this ecstasy, all of this connection builds between them, and they feel this chemistry, and they want to unite. They want to be together. And at that moment, his third eye also opened, and he sees Kama there, and he realizes he's been manipulated. And so out of the third eye, he destroys Kama. And when he destroys Kama, Parvati gets upset. She's like, why did you do that? And Shiva's like, because my yogic powers make me strong enough to override any and all desires. Well, that hurt her feelings. Because he was desiring her and she was desiring him. And she's like, if there's no karma and if your yogic powers override desire, what's going to happen with our love and what we're feeling? And he was a little, dispassionate about it. And she got enraged. She got emotional. Everything came up inside of her. And she's like, but if karma's not here, and if you're going to overcome your desire, and that's going to interrupt what we have, and then what if it interrupts humanity? What if humanity stops uniting and procreating? Then the humanity is going to start to isolate themselves. And then humanity's going to die out. And so she was so enraged by this that boom, she turns into Kali, because Kali's another incarnation of her. And she is also the goddess of transformation and time and death. And Kali comes out and she's fierce, right? And when this happens, all the light left Parvati as she turns into Kali, because Kali is more of the darkened features, and even the mountain turns dark. And Kali comes out and she stands on top of Shiva. And he's lying there completely inert like a corpse. And she says, remember, I hold power too. The feminine power is the life force creative energy. She said, you like to meditate? You're the meditator, but you can't meditate without me. You like to dance, Shiva, but you can't dance without me. You can't even walk without me. You may be the consciousness, you may be the intelligence behind everything, but without my power, without my energy, you're completely inert. And so when we go into Shavasana, we are trying to be like Shiva in that moment. Being that pure state of consciousness, just being that inner witness, just being in that idea of observation and realizing that power of the life force energy does help to animate the body. It does help to create more creative ideas in the mind. It is something that we all need. And then, of course, you can also meditate on the fact that there's so much more, and that creative energy goes on and on and on. And it's not limited to just this one physical body. It may change form, but it keeps on moving. So that's the story behind the corpse pose. We're going to move and breathe and do the Ashtanga mix so that when we finally get to Shavasana at the end, we can just go into being and let go of all the doing. So I hope you enjoyed that little bit of story behind the pose. And we're going to start sitting today because I want us to begin with the seated mountain pose. That's called Parivartana after Parvati. So sitting up nice and tall, grounding your seat, holding your legs into a cross-legged position, and letting your arms slope down like the sides of a mountain. Allow the crown of your head to lift up like the peak of the mountain. And close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, begin to notice what you're bringing to the mat with you today. What are you experiencing physically in your body? You may not know until we start to move. Be inquisitive on what's showing up in the mind as well, or even the attitude you woke up with today. Remember, as we improve the quality of our breath, we're bringing in this life force energy. That can be our fuel to the practice, and that can help us to be more expressive in our practice. So deepen the flow of your breath, engaging with pranayama, and maybe even igniting the Ujjayi breath. May sound like wind that you would hear at the top of the mountain, or a wave from the ocean crashing to the shore. This Ujjayi breath is the perfect breath when we do flow practices. But it's also nice to meditate with because it's soothing to the soul. Now we're going to go into Parvantasana. So as you inhale, let's circle the arms up overhead. Let go of the Ujjayi breath a moment. Bringing the palms together, bending the elbows, spreading them nice and wide. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Draw the navel in and up and trap the energy at the heart. And then exhale, breathe it out and away. Take a deep breath in. Practicing that Uddiyana Bandha, creating that concave area like a cave at the top of the belly. And then exhale, release the lungs. Let's take one more power sturdy deep breath in, filling up the lung sacs, holding and retaining at the top, manipulating that energy to rise, and then exhale, let it all go. Let's go ahead and interlace the hands together, open up the eyes and flip your palms skyward, exhale, curve to your left, creating the crescent moon shape with your side arm. The crescent moon represents consciousness. And if you ever look at forms of Shiva, he has the crescent moon on his brow. Inhale, let's bring ourselves back up through center and exhale, curve to the right. Holding and breathing in that crescent moon shape. Opening up your side body, cutting through that tension and deepening the flow of your breath. Inhale, rise back up to the top. Exhale, spray the arms around you and let's take ourselves away from any cloth that we might have been sitting on. We'll go ahead and stand. We're going to move to the top of the mat. There we go. Grounding your feet, spreading the toes, activating the legs without locking the knees, drawing your hands to prayer. As you inhale, let's circle the arms out and up. Activate that Ujjayi breath as you pour down to Uttanasana. Inhale, feel free to slide halfway up and lengthen through the vertebrae. And as you exhale, plant your palms, step it back to plank, rock it forward and lower down to chaturanga. Let your inhale build you to up dog. And allow your exhale to roll you back to down dog. Hold and breathe here. Hands shoulder distance apart. Fingers splayed open. Knuckles pushing downward. And elongating, creating space in your spine. Remember, any immersion, any meditation, and breath work can help to cleanse the lens of our third eye. Inhale, let's bring the feet to the top of the mat, coming to Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, fold back down. Inhale, bring yourself up to stand to Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale back to Samasthiti or Pranavasana. Inhale, circle the arms out. Exhale, hinge from your hips and bow. Inhale, sprout up. And exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana. Feel free to pass through plank, but that's one out breath. Inhale, lift up dog. Exhale, rock and roll back to down dog. And engage with your breath. Meditate on the breath. Beautiful. Inhale, gather the feet to the top of the mat. You can walk, you can lunge, you can float, but come to Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, release. Inhale, driving up. Arms framing the face, palms turn to face one another. And then exhale, hands draw back down to the heart center. Let's take another. Inhale, expand. Exhale, humbly fold. Inhale, shine the heart forward, look out with your eyes. And exhale, drop and hover if possible. Push the heart through and up. Exhale, curl the toes, use your core to rock and roll back. Beautiful. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana. Creating some space. And then exhale, close that gap and go down. Inhale, be expressive and come up. And exhale back to Samasthiti. All right, just one more A. Inhale, open up. Exhale, fold from your hips and lower the head and heart. Inhale, halfway. Exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana. Allow the inhale to lift you up and the exhale to roll you on back. Let your neck be neutral here. Try to fill up the lungs, not just in the front of the body, but in the sides of the body and the back of the body. Nice. Inhale, bringing the feet to the top of the mat. Lengthening through the spine. Exhale, draping down. Inhale, rooting to soar up. And exhale, hands join back to the heart. All right, we're moving into the deep sun cells. Inhale, bend the knees. Take the arms up to Utkatasana. Exhale, fold over straight legs. Inhale, pop up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Remember, you can pass through plank or bounce back to that one singular pose. Continue through the vinyasa. And once you roll to downward facing dog, let's step that right foot forward, back heel lowers, coming up to Virabhadrasana 1. So Shiva is a warrior, and in many of the other myths, other warriors are created as a personification from him and his emotions. Exhale, hands down, step it back. Remember, you can always amp it up by doing flying plank or flying chaturanga. And remember, as you step forward, you can always lift the leg if that assists. Left foot forward, back heel down, warrior 1, rolling open through the front thigh, rolling in through your back thigh. Once you have this experience, release your palms and continue to flow. Now, if you've had a break through the holidays, remember, you might feel a little weakened in certain areas. So don't try to force anything, just force your breath and modify if you need to. The strength will be built back quicker than you think. Inhale, bring the feet to the top of the mat, however you want to arrive. And then exhale, lower in. Inhale, bent knees, lift the arms up, fierce pose. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, second beat, coming right back in. Exhale, tip forward, straight legs. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale and exhale. Right foot steps through, back heel lowers. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana. Really roll to the outer edge of that back foot. Keep the spine erect over the pelvis, and then release. And continue. Once you strike down dog, then the left foot steps through, same pose. Same alignment. Different breath. Each moment, each breath can bring us renewal. Hands down. Vinyasa time. And this down dog, we hold and breathe for a bit. So we're gonna have a full moon on Friday, I believe. And the January full moon is called the wolf moon. So consider that in our next down dog. Inhale, bring the feet to the top of the mat. Lifting up halfway. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, let's do one more. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, follow your breath. You may be at a different pace than me or your neighbor. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, chaturanga. Into the silks of the arms, like you're howling towards this next full moon. Exhale, roll it back. Right foot steps through, back to lowers. Virabhadrasana one. Now, maybe you want to bring the palms together and do the exalted form, just to change it up. That strain your neck or shoulders, come back to the original way. Exhale, hands down. Slow. Left foot next. Maybe the exalted form is calling you. Exhale, hands down. Let's move. Breathe here. Bring that Ujjayi back if you lost it along the way. Sometimes that happens. Inhale, feet to the top of the mat. Open up. Exhale, bow out. Inhale, Utkatasana, knees bent, thighs back, arms up. Exhale, Samastiti. All right, moving on. Feet apart, shoulders roll back, gaze up. Exhale, dive in. Latch and branch, the first two fingers are on each big toe. Fan the arms away, bow your head, chin towards chest, as though you're trying to get a peek up towards your navel. Again, if that's too much for the neck, just keep it neutral. Utkatasana. Inhale, just lift your head and heart away from your legs a moment. Take the peace mudra away from the big toes. Flip your hands open and literally stand on top of them, shifting your weight forward towards your wrists, and then bowing back in. Hastasana, foot over hand. Let's release the hands. Stack them to the waist and drive up. Feet together. All right, those on the side of the room, you're welcome to turn to face the middle. Same here. But we're stepping to create a wide stance between the feet. All right, if you turn to the middle of the room, you just won't be mirroring each other. It's all good. Rotate your right foot 90 degrees. Lengthen out your arm, shoulder height. Reach out over the right leg and then go down to triangle pose. Now, you can stack your hand on your shin. Just try not to dump your weight into your hand or dump your ear towards that bottom shoulder. To minimize that, you can bring your hand in front of your shin, kind of the Iyengar way, which requires you to kind of grip your feet more and activate your core more for stability. Then on your next inhale, use that top hand to drive up. Lower the arm down. Right foot turns in, left foot rotates out. Open out the arms again. Stretch over the left leg. Windmill down, triangle pose. Your expression, your way. Be unique, because you are unique. Allow energy and joy to flow down to you. Affirming energy and joy flow down to me. Inhale, use that top arm to come up. Exhale, relax your arms. All right, turn your left foot in, your right foot out. We're gonna offset the left foot, turning the toes inward at angle. You'll be facing the back of the room. Take your right hand to your waist, your left arm reaching skyward. Exhale, start to rotate towards the right foot as you descend your hand to a block, chin, or ground. Right arm can stay on the hip if need be, or you can shine it up towards the sunlight. Try to draw the right hip in a little closer. Open up space for the diaphragm muscle between the navel and top of the sternum. All right, exhale, lower the right hand first. And then inhale, pressurize the right foot to gently come up. All right, rotate the feet the opposite way. Left hand to the waist, right arm reaches up. When you're ready, stretch over the left leg, turning towards that side, keeping the left hand on the hip or sending it up. Most importantly, breathe. When we're twisting and winding, sometimes we can forget the breath or it becomes shallow. But remember, prana is energy and twists are supposed to be energizing. So let the two work in tandem together. All right, exhale, lower the left hand, pressurize the left, but gently come up. All right, we're going to turn the feet parallel again. Now remember, we offset one of the feet. So now make sure that they're parallel again. All right, once you have that set, right foot turns, lunge the knee, drop onto the thigh, and take the left arm straight up towards the sky or across your feet. Now you can obviously take other expressions here. Feel at liberty to do that if you desire. So Parvati's point, or Kali's point to Shiva was, even meditation, you're fulfilling a desire, right? There's a purpose to meditation. We're desiring the results of the meditation. All right, inhale, come up. Lengthen out your arm, shoulder height. Turn your right foot in, left foot out. Lunge that knee and go ahead and prop onto the thigh. Right arm up towards the sky or across the side of the face. Really utilize your back leg. We tend to forget about that because we're kind of pouring over the front leg. You're pressing through that forearm to keep the heart elevated, and that will also help to roll the heart open. And then feel free, of course, to take another expression if you desire. Good, inhale, let's drive it out of side angle. Turn your left foot in, relax your arms. Right foot turns, let's spin off the back heel. Crank that left elbow to the opposite side of the right knee. Hands together and twist right. Lengthen your thigh bones away from each other. Put a little bit more exertion in, as long as it doesn't negatively affect your breath. All right, unwind. Roll that back foot down, safely come up. Turn the right foot, turn your left foot, spin off the back heel. Wind yourself around to the revolving formation. Trying to lift the navel over the thigh. Control your breath. Good, exhale, unwind. Bring your hands down and you're gonna turn your body as you rotate the feet. And you're gonna fold right on down to Prasarita Padottanasana A. Now the A version, hand shoulder distance apart, elbows squeezing in, so you're working your triceps and deltoids. Make sure you're not rolling to the insides of the feet. You're plugging down to all four corners. And the crown of your head faces the ground unless you need to modify. All right, inhale, let's walk the hands out in front of us. Level out the head with the heart as you extend the spine. Even out that blood flow first. Stack your hands onto your hips or waist and come up. All right, we're going into B. Shoulders roll back, elbows wing back. The hands are going to stay here as you fold and hinge again. So the point is to try to keep the chest open, the collarbones broad. This is our little Cupid wings, similar to the Cupid, right? Similar to Kama or Eros. Pressurize the feet and slowly come up, hugging the belly in. Good, when you're ready, turn your foot. I know, sometimes you can get foot cramps. Turn the foot towards the front edge of your mat and step up, and that's gonna help you. Go ahead and walk it out. That's the first thing I noticed, the first time I ever did Ashtanga, and I don't think it ever quite goes away. So anytime you need to stretch the feet, go ahead and do that. All right, we're gonna keep the right leg out in front and step the left foot back behind. The hips are square facing the front side of the room. Now, the first thing we're gonna do here is go into archer's pose, which is not an Ashtanga move, but it correlates to the story. So let's have the arms out in front. Let's curl the fingers in, thumbs up. All right, you're gonna pull back only with your left shoulder, not your left hip. Your left hip stays stable, just your left arm. Place the thumb to the top of the head. You're probably hitting a marma point. There's tons of marma points or acupressure points on the head. Gaze at your right thumb. And you're gonna pretend you're like Kama. And you're about to strike the love arrow to Shiva. There's no harm done. We're just promoting a state of ecstasy. And here, I like to add an affirmation, and you can too. I am focused on sending love out into the world. See if you can twist maybe deeper. Good, exhale, unwind from that pose. Good, take your hands to your hips. We're gonna try to do it without the hands today. Squeeze that right hip towards you. Left hip rolls towards the right big toe. Glue that right big toe down. and fold forward. Good, slowly come up. Step it through. All right. I'm sensing some cramping in the feet, okay? I'm seeing some of you move. So let's drop to toe balance. Bring the fingertips down. Let's just stretch out the feet a moment. Okay. All right, lower the heels. Hold in. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, we'll take that sequence to the other side. Right foot back. Hips square. Arms out in front of the chest. Curl the fingers in. Draw your bow, only the right shoulder. You're focused. Steady eye, steady gaze on the left thumb. Right thumb to the top of the head. Let's rotate around to the left, archer's pose. Affirming, I am focused on sending love out into the world. Maybe twist a little deeper. And then unwind. Keeping your gaze at your thumb the entire time. And then hands come to the waist, shoulders back, let your heart lead. Pyramid pose, gazing towards the foot, if possible. If that strains your neck, look down towards your knee. Inhaling up. Exhale, step to the front of the mat. All right, we're gonna play around with second alternate now. Okay, so you can step to one side of your mat. And I'm gonna show you from this angle. I'm gonna show you from this angle. I'm gonna show you from this angle. Forget there's always something we can record. Okay, so you're gonna ground your left foot. We're gonna do dancing Indian pose. So I can't always do this because my thumbs are getting weird with my paws. So it actually kind of hurts today. But if you can do it, you do it. It's called Apana Mudra. Your second two fingers to your thumbs, okay? I can't do that. So I'm gonna do the wisdom one instead. And if you wanna join me in wisdom, you can. The arms are up, your left foot's grounded, and you're gonna kick the right heel up and flare the knee. Now, if your balance is a little unsteady today, you're gonna stay right here as you are. If not, you're going to wrap that foot around, hinge, and look down. And then inhale, bring it back up. Breathe. Doing different balancing poses today. Because Shiva likes to dance. And then release. But remember, you can't dance without the life force energy. Okay, we're gonna stay on the left foot. We're gonna get into this a little bit differently. You're gonna step forward with your left foot, just a baby step. And you're gonna open your right hand up. And you're gonna catch the big toe side of the foot. Then you're gonna lift your left arm. And if you need to stay here, be here. Otherwise, you can hinge to dancing Shiva. Push the foot into the hand behind you, and then slowly come up. Release and relax. Different balancing poses today to tie in with the story. All right, when you're ready, landing line down the right hip to the foot, to the earth. Pick your mudra. Left heel up, left knee flares. Remember, this signal or symbology also represents compassion and action. Right? That was part of it. He worried about karma, worried about humanity in the story, in the myth. All right, if you want to move, take it behind you, hinge, look down. Slowly build back up. Again. Nice work. That would have been a cool picture. And then come down. That was really cool to see all you guys doing. And I didn't hear anybody falling out. That was cool. All right. We're gonna step forward with the right foot. Sometimes it's nice just to be on a solid floor without the swoosh of the mat. And notice if it helps. Okay, open out your left palm. Catch your foot. Lift the right arm, what's stable. Take your time. Maybe take dancing Shiva. Come out when you need to. And release. So consider days where you're having trouble with balance. You can use a wall. You just kind of be close to the wall, lean into it, and then you can still get the alignment. All right, coming back to the top of the mat. Hands joined together at the heart. Inhale, open up. Exhale, drop in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana. Into up dog, honoring this next full moon that lies ahead. Exhale, rock and roll back. Be and breathe here. Bend the knees, look forward towards your hands. And if you want to join me, crisscross the ankles, come down to the floor, and then straighten out your leg. Dandasana down. And if you don't, just come to your knees, bring your legs out, no problem. Flex your ankles. Have to use the core support here. Elevate the arms, that will also assist. And then exhale, Paschimottanasana. So don't worry about finding your feet. Your hands can be anywhere. Discover what's better for your neck here, whether it's to look out or look down. Affirming here. I am safe. I am sound. And good things come to me and bring me peace. All right, when you start to come up, latch the first two fingers around that right big toe. You're gonna build up, bring in the foot width, and then rotate the arm open so you can hinge from the hip and draw it back for pulling the bow pose. Okay, take the left arm out. I know this doesn't normally come into play either, but it ties it with the story. Bring the hand to the foot, bring it around, and then take your right arm out. And this is a nice prep anyway for Janu Shasana. So when you're ready, bring that right foot down, the inside of that thigh, arms reaching sky, crisscross your wrist, fold, and maybe catch your foot or shin. And then if you feel like your navel is still on the inside of your thigh, pull it in and wrap it around to the top of the thigh. This is another Iyengar approach. I just like this variation, and we rarely do it this way. All right, let's just release the hands and gently build the spine up. We're gonna cradle the underside of that foot and just see if it has the potential and the range to start to have lotus, heel in line with the belly button. So you're not trying to crank the foot too far over. Right arm circles around behind the back, taking to the sacrum, to your waist, foot straps if you like to use. Left arm reaches overhead. Exhale, pour down. Inhale. Right knee lifts and 6 foot stacks to the other side. Hug it in. Pull up through the heart. Send the right hand behind your back. Keep shining the left toes up. And breathe. You guys always have such beautiful alignment. Awareness on point. Beautiful. Exhale, unwind. All right. Let's lower the right leg out. Inhale, arms up. Exhaling, forward fold. Now we're not going to stay very long. We're just basically using this as our transition to the next sequence, which is the same sequence second side. So you may have to bend that left knee if you can't quite reach the big toe, but if you can, go ahead and branch around it. Inhale, draw in through your belly, lift the foot up with. Good, exhale, rotate your arm out and up to give space for the knee to be driven kind of underneath the arm, and then extend your right arm in front. So some of you were here Monday when I gave the astrology numerology report for the upcoming year. And the only thing I want to say about that is this year is number 7. It's a highly spiritual potent number. A lot of soul searching is going to be happening. And we're going to be really questioning the big things. Who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? Am I fulfilled? Where am I investing my time and energy? And is it aligning to where I want to be or who I want to become? Okay, so think about what you're aiming for in the bow pose. And then take the hand underneath the heel, draw it in, extend your left arm. Good, now bring the foot down to the inside of your right thigh. Reach the arms up towards the sky. Crisscross those ankles. You know what I mean? Hands and fold. And then maybe rotate that back a little bit more across the front thigh. The only thing I'll mention about astrology, this is a year where we're beginning with 2 retrogrades, Mercury, which is about communication. There's going to be some glitches, communication with electronics, more than likely, as well as Mars being in retrograde, which is the planet of action. So the beauty is you don't have to be enforcing your goals right away. This really is a perfect time to do the inner work and the planning and then putting it into action later this month. All right, inhale. Let's bring it up. All right, let's scoop up underneath the left foot, cross it over, half lotus, if possible. If not, keep it on the floor. Left arm circles behind the back. That little twisting action will help you get the arm farther around. And then turn to face the front. Right arm reaches up. Exhale, release. And there's a lot to gain, even being here, if you don't want to fold. Inhale. Let's build up. Let's release that back arm. Let's lift that right knee, stack onto the left foot, hug it in, pull up through the head and heart. Left hand circles behind the back. Right toes fly up and splay wide. Feel free to close your eyes. Affirm and radiate my love, goodwill, and compassion to soul friends everywhere. Exhale, unwind from that. Once you unwind from that, let's separate the feet. Build ourselves up to bear pose. So bear pose, the toes point forward, the feet are pretty wide open. And maybe this is all you want to do today. If you're just hanging out here though, I always sink my belly and forget about core engagement. So maybe drawing the abdomen in. And if you want to go into the arm balance, you're going to slide your hands back. You're going to squeeze the knees to the upper arms, lift your head up, and then take the pressure off the feet to flex and float them in the air, Bhuja Kondasana. If that comes relatively easy, you're going to shift forward and bow your head, trying to keep the feet up. And then maybe shifting the head back up to look out with your eyes. All right, we're going to separate the feet. Then the arms more, sit down, and let the feet go. Or something like that. Yeah. Hands slip out underneath the knees. Bow your head. You can be peering toward us. You can slide the heels out and toward us. You can also wiggle the feet together and wiggle the hands behind your hips for another variation of tortoise. Yeah, I get that. It took me a while to figure this one out. It's a little complicated. Remember when Facebook had that relationship? Single. It's complicated. Relationship, or it's complicated. This one's a little complicated. Inhale, slowly exiting out of whichever one you chose to practice. All right. I'm going to give you a choice today for our final inversion. So, if you love headstand, the king of asanas, you can move your mat to a wall if you want to use a wall. There is the apparatus here that is perfect if you don't want pressure on your neck. And I'm also going to give you one more statement that came from Monday's class. I also went ahead and talked about the Chinese zodiac or the Chinese year, which is not coming for it. They're under a lunar calendar. It's not here yet. We're still under the water tiger, but soon enough, in a few weeks, it's going to turn into the water rat. So just like we saw a lot of recession of water, a lot of sea levels rising and flooding last year, same occurrences this year, so don't be surprised. It's all written in the stars, okay? Meant to be occurring. So, hare pose, if you don't want to go completely upside down, you can be on your knees, and I'll show you a couple different ways to do it. One way is to stack your hands, come to your hair line here, and then as you elevate your hips, you roll onto the crown of your head. But there's not a lot of weight here because the weight is more in your hands, knees, and shins. You can also grip your ankles and roll up this way. Again, not a lot of weight on your head. And then, of course, if you want Shirshasana 1, I would measure first. Hands wrap around elbows so they don't go too wide, fingers lace. And then if you just want to build strength, you're just doing little push-ups like calf stretches here. Or you can curl your toes, walk in, curl up, hike up, or play with maybe lifting one leg at a time. I try to show different variations because each one of us are different and have different skills. And then, of course, when you come out, child's pose. So the apparatus is available. If you need help or a spotter, let me know. If you're not really comfortable with headstand, definitely come off, use the wall. I love that. Who's flipped upside down now? Is that you, Heather? It's you, yeah.
I think so.
And then if you just want child's pose, that's an inversion. It works. Remember, celebrate your uniqueness. I can't hardly do shoulder stand
it's okay.
anymore, and I did for
I
20
share.
years. And it's okay that I can't. Yeah, it's fantastic. That's nice, Renee. You've gotten so much stronger.
My only suggestion would be your elbows are still wide. Okay.
And it could be the blanket
Sliding.
Yeah, that could be it.
And
And maybe get a little closer to the wall. Crawl, crawl, crawl. There you go. Now puff into those shoulder blades, like calf stretch. Yeah. Nice. I love it. How does that feel?
That's good.
Good, good, good.
Well, you feel that.
Yeah, no. Child pose does feel best. All right, we're ready for what we've been building up for. And that's corpse pose. Now, corpse pose is that position that you're used to taking for Shavasana, feet apart, hands apart, on your back. However, sometimes you may need that bolster underneath your knees for additional support. Sometimes we even need to bend the knees entirely just to relieve the back. So check in. So I know we've been controlling our breath through this hour, but that's action, that's doing. That's the life force energy. So let the breath die down so it's not under your command and it's just naturally flowing. Try to align your body in a position where you can become completely and utterly still. Be inert and drop into a state. Just be. And becoming the inner witness, the observer of everything else. Observe the ebb and flow of your breath. Start to engage into life. As you do so, maybe pulling some flags of ease. Maybe wiggle the fingers or rotate your wrists. Perhaps sending the arms overhead, stretching out. And perhaps curling. Rolling and shifting side to side. Turning over to one side, calmly not force. Sitting up, closing the eyes. We're going to end with the seated mountain pose. Just like we started with, inhale the arms overhead, palms together. Take a deep breath in. Hold and retain at the top. And then exhale, let it go. Another breath in. Retain. And breathe out. Power 3, once more on your own. We'll end our practice only together. Keep the hands overhead. As we breathe in, as you exhale, om it out, hands to heart. May there be peace, peace, everlasting peace. Showing up today. I love seeing you all. And